Welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Amol Rajan. In the news this week, Keir Starmer tries to explain to anyone who will listen, although it technically is Lord Ali's car, he's allowed exclusive use of it on weekdays. In Weybridge, Eamon Holmes' new girlfriend regrets trying to use his custom-made bidet. And in Kingston upon Thames, Ed Davey arrives at the funeral of a much-loved constituent.
He's wearing black, it's respectful.
On Ian's team tonight, a former Conservative MP and Brexiteer who is a member of the organisation Leave Means Leave, which is exactly what her constituents told her at the last election. Please welcome Dame Andrea Jenkins. And on Paul's team tonight is an actor and comedian whose latest show is called On I Bang, which was, coincidentally, the working title for Boris Johnson's memoir. Please welcome Miles Japp. We begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Andrea, take a look at this.
Right, that's Keir Starmer, isn't it? That's Sue Gray, she's gone. Ah, this is it. 100 days Keir Starmer's been Prime Minister, which is 2.5 Liz Trusses.
How would you rate Starmer's first 100 days, Ian? A success?
Well, he's still Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And in recent terms, that's pretty good going.
Yeah. What might have hastened Sue Gray's departure?
Free passes at number 10?
Was she caught snorting coke off a lilo?
No.
I don't think she was, just for the benefit of the lawyer that's listening. I don't think that's true at all.
According to The Times, Gray showed inexperience dealing with the press and shocked colleagues by referring to scumbag journalists. Good to see Private Eye still being read in number 10. Why might Sue Gray not be too upset to be going?
She's been given another job.
Not necessarily.
She has, though.
Was that a plane landing, then? What was that?
Well, one unnamed Tory told the Daily Mail it feels as if she's fleeing a sinking ship. Another accusation from Sue Gray's allies was that number 10 was too much like a boys' club. Were the Tories ever a boys' club?
No, I don't think so.
No, Boris and co, no.
But some of them really love women, didn't they? So.
Andrea, were you surprised by how many of your colleagues jumped before they were pushed at the last election?
No, I wasn't really.
At least you stuck around to face the music and you lost your seat at the
No,
election.
I mean, I believe in going down with a sinking ship, so, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
And you know you took your seat off Ed Balls? That means you're responsible for this.
If that had happened in a public park, he would have been arrested. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Maybe he's rehearsing for a Taylor Swift concert because his wife got some tickets, didn't she?
Oh.
She did indeed.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. According to The Sun, Sadiq Khan and Yvette Cooper put pressure on the Met Police to boost security for Taylor Swift at her London concert, which was attended by Sadiq Khan and Yvette Cooper.
Yeah.
Both have denied there is any link between the two things, which means that there was.
Did you get free tickets, though, Ian?
I didn't get free tickets, no.
Did you have to pay for yours, Ian?
I was up all night online. It's a hell of a business.
Yeah. But worth it to get down the mosh pit.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a mosh pit?
I'm out of my depth as well.
What big change did Rachel Reeves make?
She turned ginger.
Well, I'm not sure it's ginger. It's sort of auburn, I'd say.
It's autumnal.
It's autumnal.
I think she's reflecting a change of the seasons.
Yeah.
Will it go white for Christmas and then sort of daffodil yellow in spring?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's nice.
What's she going to do for Michaelmas?
That's the question on everybody's lips.
Yeah, exactly. What does Rachel Reeves step back from?
Zumba.
No. More into the fiscal terms.
Pension.
Yes.
Yeah, she's either for or against it, but strongly.
Yeah.
Almost. She's decided not to raise tax on pension contributions in the upcoming Budget of Doom, but she did warn, I'll have to turn to the country and make big asks. So she's planning a whip round if you're interested. Good and bad news for Labour this week. Other good news, but other bad news for them. Anything that's gone well, anything that's gone particularly badly that you can think of?
Not much gone well.
Well, I can tell you, they are actually still ahead of the Tories in the polls.
What, 4 years away from a general election? Amon, you're on fire tonight.
No, I know. Well, my political analysis is why they brought me in. Shall we have a look at the latest Keir Starmer popularity chart? Here we go. Check this out.
Blimey.
I mean, there's a lot of red on that chart, isn't there?
Bit tough on Rishi Sunak. At least he went.
What else has the government washed its hands of this week?
The Chagos Islands.
Yes. Why do they do that, Ian?
Because over the last 30 years, the Chagos Islanders have been campaigning to be returned to their country, which Britain threw them off in terms of making a military base. But it's a final deal that's been done between us and Mauritius, and it's finally happened.
I mean, I was there, actually, at the protest this morning with the...
Were you?
Yes, with the Chagosians. So.
And what was your view?
It was the previous Labour government which worked with the US, wasn't it, to remove them from the islands. And they said, Starmer, you're a human rights lawyer, and you've done it again. You know, we just want to
What, you've done the right thing?
No.
Because the Tories tried to blame this on Starmer, and then he pointed out that the person who'd set the process going this time was James Cleverly.
But is that what the contest? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but Cleverly then said, no, it wasn't me, it was Liz Truss. Because she was Foreign Secretary. You can't believe any of this, can you? And Liz Truss's supporters said, it wasn't Liz, it was Boris, because, God, he was Foreign Secretary. I mean, you wonder why this country gets in a bit of a mess.
What would you have done with the islands, then?
Me, I'd have given them back to them early on. If you read Early Private Eyes, we did take up this cause.
Did you release a charity single, Ian?
We did. It was called Chagos and Dave. It was sort of...
Yes. You're quite right. So someone else is not happy about the decision this week. That was James Cleverly. Not been a great week for James Cleverly. What has he lost?
He came third in a two-horse race.
That's exactly right. Pippa Crerar in The Guardian reports that Cleverly was so confident about getting into the final, he tried to give some of his votes to Robert Jenrick to help knock out Kemi Badenoch, but it backfired when his team got the maths wrong. So in the end, some MPs who should have voted cleverly voted stupidly. But it comes after this quite extraordinary rallying cry. Do you remember this from last week?
Let's be more normal.
To which the Tory party said, no thanks. So we are down now to Robert Jenrick and Kemi Badenoch. Let's ask someone who really, really understands the Tory party. Paul, who's your money on?
Do you know what I imagined you just said to me? Is the answer Newport Pagnell? What was the point of asking me that? Have you not seen this show over the last 35 years? I'm waiting for the story that comes up with the monkey playing the harmonium. That's when I come alive. All this stuff, you're wasting your time with this. I don't watch the first 10 minutes of this show. I'll turn the sound down and play Boney M.
Which one? Is it Rah Rah Rasputin?
Bit too political for me, that one here.
What do you think happened?
I mean, I think, seriously, he got Lent votes and they wanted Bobby J. Kemi be in the final anyway.
Would you have voted for either of them had you still been able to have a vote, which you can't?
I'm not backing it.
No.
I'm actually not backing any of them.
Really? I mean, you're on the right of the party. You must be thrilled, mustn't you?
Yeah, but I mean...
Good, that's all I need.
No, but there was... No, if you look at the voting record, they're more One Nation-y to me anyway.
What, those two? God, you are right-wing, aren't you?
One Tory MP told The Times Grant Shapps was running the numbers for Cleverly, adding that Shapps was most likely trying to be a clever dick.
He was actually at Boris's book launch the night before as well, wasn't he?
Who was Grant Shapps?
No, Cleverly, yeah. It was at Boris's book launch rather than being on the phone to MPs.
So is that where it all went wrong for him, do you think? Because he was seeking Boris's...
Well, loads of MPs was there at the book launch, you see, so I think he was trying
they
to...
just miscalculated.
Yeah.
Did it go well, the book launch?
Oh, it was amazing. He was on fire, Boris, yeah.
Were you there? Blimey, and you
was getting
admit
my
that
book signed,
publicly.
yeah, I was
You were
getting
getting
my
your
book
book signed.
signed.
What did he write? This is fiction. No, I'm just guessing.
Ian, you're in there. You should be getting royalties.
Yeah, I'm in the book. He accuses me of being a liar, which is pretty funny.
I have to disagree there.
So you think I am a liar? Go on.
No, I think you're lovely. Do you know, behind...
A lovely liar?
No. Do you know, backstage, he's a different person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very supportive.
No, that is libelous.
Should we have a look at him talking about his book with a useful sort of promotional thing? Let's talk about it, let's do it. See what you think about it.
I'm sorry, but you have no editorial input on this show.
This is Mr. Johnson talking to Radio 5 Live's Matt Chorley.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people think you're a liar.
Well,
Are you a liar?
I know, and I think that if whether it's the bus, which in fact was the bus of truth.
This is the 350,000,
Yes.
350 million.
350 million.
You admit in your book that was wrong.
No, I don't. I say that it was in fact an underestimate because it was going to probably to rise
No,
to.
you don't. You say in the book that the real figure,
I know. I
figure is much
no,
lower.
sorry, I'm not going to have all this rubbish.
I've read your book.
Well, then
And you say
reflect,
the
then
170,
reflect,
it was more like 170 million.
reflect properly. No.
It is extraordinary. You can literally just quote him what he's just said, and he says, no, I didn't say that.
He's also been critical of Labour's donor issues, but how did he defend his own spending as Prime Minister?
I spaffed it all up the wall, and I'm proud of it.
Not nearly. He was defending his £200,000 refurbishment of the number 10 flat, and Boris Johnson said Downing Street was like a crack den when I arrived. Shall we have a look at the crack in question?
He did say the only thing he regretted was apologising over his behaviour in COVID. So when he said, I'm sorry, according to him, he was lying. That's it. That's the top headline in the book. I lied when I apologised for my behaviour during COVID. I shouldn't have apologised. No matter how many committees, no matter how much evidence, I should have just lied again. Have you read the book? Don't worry, he hasn't either.
I've read one chapter, actually, that's it.
Finally, for a Boris bonus point, I'm going to show you him responding to a question. And what I want you to do is to guess the question that he was asked that elicited this answer.
OK. Can you remember the occasion when your third child was conceived?
Is in fact the correct answer. Now, let's have a look at the question. This is from ITV's Tom Bradby.
Who would you like to see as leader of the Tory party?
Which name is he trying to say there?
Yeah.
He'll come back, won't he?
I don't think it's over for him, no.
You don't think it's over?
I still think Boris was one of our better Prime Ministers, yeah. I see you selected the audience, you know. The people who don't like Boris or Conservatives, yeah.
You can't just say you've selected the audience. You've got no evidence for that, no proof. It's just bollocks. This isn't GB News.
Hang on, isn't this GB News? I thought I was on GB News. We're in the wrong place altogether. Anyway, right. It has been another week...
No, don't go.
No.
Sorry, that was a bit late, wasn't it?
Yes, this is Labour's first 100 days in power. For all the upheaval, a Downing Street insider insisted that when it comes to delivery, the Prime Minister is laser-focused. That's pretty good because he can give back all those glasses that he got for free. This week, the government handed the Chagos Islands over to Mauritius. I'm not saying that most of us hadn't heard of them, but when Keir Starmer was asked about the future of Diego Garcia, he did say he thought Arsenal could build a whole team around him. Also this week, voting took place in the Tory leadership race. According to The Times, ahead of the vote, frontrunner James cleverly wore his lucky red socks. And they really work, because now he doesn't have to be Tory leader. Paul and Miles, have a look at this.
There is. The great puppet.
Yes, there's the great puppet. Donald T. Rump. There is Kamala Harris. Oh, Elon Musk. Why is it the richest people in the world are also the weirdest?
Oh. There's the puppet master.
Yes, Bob Woodward's got a new book out, one of the original Watergate journalists, and it says that apparently Donald Trump sent Putin something called a COVID machine. I'm not sure what a COVID machine is.
Oh, it's that great machine they had in the lab that made that virus, do you remember? And
Yes.
Yeah, it was really... It was sort of... people were a bit iffy about it, but
Yeah.
it was scientifically a real breakthrough.
Yeah, it did what it was designed to do.
Yeah.
Do you remember those COVID tests? They were just like a little
The lateral flow one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of COVID tests?
I absolutely loved them, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd get them in different flavours, couldn't you?
Yeah. I've stopped using cotton buds altogether.
Yeah.
Well, Trump sent some of these machines to Putin, and what did Putin allegedly say to Trump about the gift?
Oh, yes, so don't tell anybody that you've given them to me.
It's quite sweet, isn't it? He said, I don't want you to tell anyone because people will get mad at you, not me. How many times have they spoken since, Trump and Putin?
Oh, I don't know, I'd say 7 times.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I wouldn't waste your time with hypothetical guesses.
What is Donald Trump's solution to the conflict in the Middle East, which is teetering currently on the brink of an all-out war and conflagration?
He'd sort it in a day, wouldn't he?
How'd he do that?
He'd ring Netanyahu, who's a friend of his, and say, sort it out.
Sort of, yeah. He said at a campaign rally recently, Israel should hit the nuclear first and worry about the rest later. Donald, what do you mean later? And this is all ahead of the American election, which is less than a month away. And Kamala Harris, the Democrat candidate, has been accused by critics of not doing interviews in her campaign. What's she actually been doing?
Interviews.
A lot of interviews, yes. You might recall that she boasted to Oprah about shooting a home intruder.
Yes.
What sort of gun has Kamala Harris got?
A Glock. An Uzi. She strikes me as an Uzi sort of person.
Smith & Wesson.
It is a Glock. How do you know so much about guns?
Listen, I can't talk about my days at 5. So let's keep this side of the river.
Yeah.
It is indeed. Yeah, and what special power do the Democrats have, according to Marjorie Jewish space lasers Taylor Greene?
Oh, yeah, they can create hurricanes. They can manipulate the weather.
Taylor Greene said of the Democrats, yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done.
Now I see it written down.
Yeah. Legend and authority, doesn't it?
Yeah. Donald Trump must be getting pretty tired of saying pretty outrageous things himself, because what has he done to lighten the burden on himself?
Oh, he's built on Elon Musk. Donald Trump had another rally at the place where the guy sort of shot his ear, and Elon Musk came on as a special guest and jumped up in the air and behaved very oddly.
He did. Melania Trump recalled her experience of the first assassination attempt on her husband. Do we know what she did?
Reloaded.
So we're quite familiar with Trump's very unique style of dancing. You've seen this?
Yes. Yeah.
But why might he be in big trouble for doing this on January the 6th, 2021?
Well, it's just, they're not the moves, are they? You do the left.
Well, this is the attack on the Senate, isn't it?
Yeah, well, according to the Washington Post, files issued recently by Special Counsel Jack Smith contend that because Trump entered to the Village People's YMCA, it proves that it was a campaign rally and Trump was not acting in his official capacity as president. Otherwise, he'd have come in on Hail to the Chief. And therefore, under the terms of the Supreme Court ruling, he has no immunity from prosecution.
Oh, that's clever.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And was he doing the letters R-I-O-T?
Yeah.
Fun to stay in a maximum security jet.
According to Mail Online, a Donald Trump rally was paused recently after a woman fainted. First responders leapt into action, restraining Trump from taking advantage of an unconscious female. Meanwhile, Argentina's President Milei, you know...
Oh, yeah.
guy?
That's him doing the YMCA.
Yeah.
At least he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's got his arms up. Heaven's sake.
What's he been up to in America, do you know? You've been following him closely?
No, I haven't, no.
He's actually been delivering a speech to the UN General Assembly, for which he plagiarised huge chunks of dialogue from The West Wing.
That's brilliant.
And he then went off to the Wall Street Stock Exchange, where this is he. It is just amazing, isn't it, how one moment can capture a political career. What's going on in that photo, Andrew? For those who haven't seen it, that's you. What was going on there?
Well, you know Steve Bray, the big Remainer guy? Well, Boris was making his resignation speech. He was bellowing out there. And I just thought, you know, you've got what you want now. And it's on you, really.
Did it feel good?
Well, the funny thing is, I don't even really swear. I don't even use my fingers, so I don't know.
You don't use your fingers?
How'd you play the piano?
I use my thumbs, yeah.
Oh.
It's a northern thing, yeah.
It's a northern thing.
Here, he couldn't have 4 fingers when I was growing up. 2 thumbs were good enough for my daddy, good enough for me. Didn't have a car, you had to hitchhike everywhere you went. That was all right. Didn't mind that.
And so to round 2. This is the Globe of News.
Globe of News.
Yeah, fingers on buzzers.
Yeah, OK. Spin, spin, spin. Oh, it's turned into a magic effect. Well, there's a knothole in that tree for certain. I've just found out where the squirrel hides his nuts. This is... Unbelievably, I know this is about a tree-hugging competition in Glasgow.
That's exactly right. Who was crowned the champion tree hugger?
Roger Oak.
Do you know, you're in the rights of...
Peter Willow.
Keep going.
George Willow.
No, keep going.
Sally Willow. Roger Willow.
It's female, an English name beginning with H.
Holly.
Harriet.
Holly Willow. Holly Willoughby. She jumped the queue and won.
No, you better tell us.
It was Hannah Willow.
Hannah Willow.
Let's have a look at Hannah Willow hugging this tree. And that is as much as we can show at this time of night. What did Hannah win?
Day release. Is that right?
No. No. As a result of her win, Hannah has now qualified to enter the international competition next year, held in the Halipu Forest, just over 100 miles north of the Arctic Circle. What a treat for her. Well done, Hannah. And in other news to do with names, who's Steve and what's he been up to in Scotland this week?
Bit general, isn't it?
Yeah.
The clues so far, someone called Peter and Scotland.
No, Steve.
Steve. Oh, Christ.
Hold on a sec.
That's much easier.
Steve is, in fact, a rare purple ribbon-like glow within the Northern Lights, which was visible in the skies... Look at that, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
which was visible in the skies above Scotland and northern England this week. But the question is, why is it called Steve?
Named after the first person that identified it.
Peter.
Steve actually stands for Strong Thermal Emission Velocity Enhancement. According to the BBC, Steve is unpredictable and only lasts for a short time. As every wife of a Steve will tell you. What other weather phenomenon did the BBC warn us about this week?
Oh, hurricanes up to 14,000 miles per hour in Great Britain. There was a glitch on their weather thing, and so at one point it was saying that London, Salford was another place, 14,000 miles per hour wind.
Before that, there was a warning about temperature. So a glitch on the BBC weather website saw temperatures of 404 degrees centigrade in Nottingham.
That's quite warm, isn't it? You need to take your coat off for that.
And then, as you say, Paul, winds of 14,827 miles per hour in Windsor.
He's got Grant Shapps on the numbers.
The way you said that, you made it sound like a medical complaint going to the doctors. I've got a touch of Grant Shapps. I've not been able to sit down straight for a fortnight.
This is the first Glasgow tree-hugging tournament, or as it will be known by historians, the only Glasgow tree-hugging tournament. Meanwhile, the north of England has been treated to a rare aurora called Steve. According to one scientist, you need to seek out a rural setting or park away from city lights, bring a reclining chair or blanket, then relax and wait for Steve. Which is also the instructions if you wish to go dogging.
I thought I recognised your voice. I feel like I'm thinking it.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're spinning the wheel. Oh, there we go. Spinning the globe. Yep. Oh, you're confident. Brackley in England.
Yeah, there's been a high-vis hugging competition. He's called Roger High-vis. No, I don't know.
That looks like the word pothole written on his jacket.
Well, is it the man who just got so fed up he just started mending potholes himself?
Ah.
Exactly right. Well done. His name is Mark Morrill. He's a former town mayor. What's his nickname?
Mark the Pothole?
Mr. Pothole.
Mr. Pothole?
Yeah. He claims he's responsible for getting 10,000 potholes filled in.
Oh, good.
Good on him. He pesters the council, basically.
He's not going around with sort of tarmac and stuff. This is a letter-writing campaign. It's a sort of more Amnesty International approach.
In other road news, which motorway has been voted Britain's worst?
Oh, that was something like the M8, was it?
No.
I thought it was the M40.
No.
32.
No.
The M56.
M1 with all the
No.
speed cameras, no?
No, it's the M42. So a survey of road
I know
users...
I like that game. Can we do another one?
So that was your start for 10. I'm now going to give you 3 bonus questions on Britain's roads, and you may confirm, OK?
Right, yeah. Still ready.
Here's lot Magdalen.
Merton, slightly more cheerful.
That's not how it works on University Challenge, because you can't actually buzz in on the bonuses, but sod it.
How do you know?
Because well, I am involved, so...
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a mystery object one week.
Things and buzzers, here's your first bonus. Okay?
Yes.
Britain's worst motorway, the M42, connects Bromsgrove in Worcestershire with which Leicestershire town, 40 miles away?
Melton Mowbray.
No.
Is it Shakespeare?
It's Ashby de la Zouche.
Oh, good.
Question number 2. The A12 was voted Britain's worst A road. It connects London with which Suffolk...
Ipswich.
It's Lowestoft.
This is bloody hard.
This is quite hard. Well,
It's good.
finally, Britain's best A road received an 85% satisfaction rating. It connects Doncaster with Seaton Burn near Newcastle. What is it?
A3.
God, you lot are shit, man.
Did you say that on University Challenge?
Yeah.
We're not shit, Emil. We have drivers.
Yeah. It's the A19. And out they're gone. I'm afraid to say that's the end of the round, the end of the show, and the end of the series. Good night. Not really. Fingers on buzzers teams is the Globe of News again.
Yep.
I think they're going to have apostrophes in German from now on, and they didn't used to, and they think it's American.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't look at me as though it's not the most important story of the week.
This is the news that Germany will officially start using possessive apostrophes.
Oh.
So how do Germans indicate possession without apostrophes?
They invade the Sudetenland.
Possession, James. It's very...
I'll tell you, the possessive apostrophe in German is, in fact, called the Deppen apostrophe, which translates to the idiot's apostrophe. Why has Germany resisted using an apostrophe until now?
They think it's English.
It's viewed as an Anglicism, and according to the Express, has led to a furious backlash against this bowing to English. The Guardian points out that the German apostrophe is not to be confused with the English grosser apostrophe. Of course not. In German, grosser apostrophe just means a bigger apostrophe. This latest development is being closely watched by Germany's grammar police, the S apostrophe S. And in other language news, what has Oxford professor Sir Jonathan Bate warned about? He says that students no longer have the attention span to read long books. So, I mean, is it true? Have people lost the ability to focus for long enough to be able to read a book? Young people, your children?
What did he say?
No, I think he's talking about roads.
Oh,
Does anyone here know what BookTok is?
Yes.
Go on. Are you on TikTok, Ian?
No. But BookTok sells a lot of books.
It does.
It's young people, I believe, recommend books to each other. Have I got that wrong?
No, you've got it absolutely right. This is young people on TikTok who are trying to make reading cool again.
I thought it was cool. That's what me and the lads say these days. Nice trousers, what are you reading? Thank you there, Blue Harbour. David Copperfield.
Blue
You should come down the spoons with us, mate. You'd absolutely love it.
See the match, read the new William Boyd.
Yeah, so apparently if you want to make reading cool again, you talk about books on TikTok.
Yeah.
Here are some highlights from BookTok. First of all, the writing is so tiny. And why are the pages so filled with so many words? What the fuck? It's a shame young people can't get to the end of Charles Dickens' novels. For me, the end of A Christmas Carol is the best bit. You know where Scrooge sees the errors of his ways and buys all those presents for Kermit, Miss Piggy and Gonzo? Fingers on Buzzer's teams. Something big happened.
In China?
Yeah.
What, with the planned economy? I don't think so.
It was to
Released
do-
a virus or something?
No. Ooh. No, they've not done that. Not this week. This is the news that a sewage pipe in China has violently exploded, and I think we need to see the event in question.
Oh, my God.
That would be my vote for the worst motorway.
When the pipe burst, bystanders were drenched in human waste, briefly exciting local archaeologists who thought they'd uncovered a whole new terracotta army. This is the news that a Chinese sewage pipe exploded next to a busy road, covering passers-by with human waste, an incident described by Thames Water as pretty amateur. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. They are Melania Trump, Diane Abbott, Liz Truss and Anne of Cleves.
Anne of Cleves hasn't got a book out.
Anne of Cleves the easiest one to get a brass rubbing of.
I'll give you a clue. It's to do with romantic...
Romantic entanglements with a national leader.
Oh, that's good.
Sort
Ooh,
of.
that's
So Anne
very
of
good.
Cleves, Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Diane Abbott.
With
Jeremy
Corbyn.
Corbyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz Truss.
Oh, so she's the odd one out then, isn't she? Yeah.
Is it? And Melania? Is that where we're going or not?
No, I'll give you the answer.
No, don't. We're enjoying
it's-
ourselves.
it's-
Is it
it's-
how long they lasted?
Excuse me?
Is it the M9?
No, it's not the... No, it's romantic dalliances and the manner of their ending.
Anne of Cleves, you know, she wasn't killed. She was given an agreeable house, lived life very happily at the end.
You sound like a sort of solicitor defending Henry VIII.
They've all married someone despite a terrible first date, apart from Diane Abbott, who dumped Jeremy Corbyn after a terrible last date. Where did Jeremy Corbyn take Diane Abbott on that
Karl
fateful...
Marx's grave.
Yes,
That's exactly right.
Yes.
In her recent autobiography, Diane says that when they dated in the late 1970s, she complained to him about their lack of social activity as a couple. So when Jeremy told her they were finally going out, she wrote, feeling excited, I dressed up nicely. I had no idea where we were going. A nice wine bar? But Jeremy drove her to Highgate Cemetery, where he proudly showed her the tomb of Karl Marx. What was Christmas at the Corbyns like, according to Diane Abbott?
Would Piers Corbyn come round? You'd be like, oh, Christ, he's the bonkers one.
Diane, in fact, recalls that dinner seemed mostly about boiled vegetables, adding the house was freezing and there was no alcohol. There were lots of red flags and also some signs that it was a bad relationship. What happened when Anne of Cleves met Henry VIII?
Henry VIII was very disappointed because he thought she would look like this picture by Holbein, and she didn't.
That's exactly right. Henry had agreed to marry Anne solely based on this portrait of her, but after she'd made the trip over to England and he saw her in the flesh, he supposedly declared, I like her not, I like her not, from which we get the phrase, no likey, no lighty.
It's a bit rash of him, isn't it, to agree to marry somebody based on a painting?
Yeah, exactly. Even
Yeah,
a
he was
Holbein.
quite desperate by then.
Was he?
Yeah, he was old and undesirable.
Oh, really? I can't imagine that.
Well, the marriage was annulled soon after, and it could have been worse. She could have fallen head over heels. What did Shut up!
No, this audience has heard every Henry VIII joke going.
What did Melania Trump reveal this week about her first date with Donald Trump?
They discussed the Abortion Act and the Supreme Court's reaction to it.
No, I thought because of the vigour with which you buzzed in that you actually knew the answer, but you don't, do you?
No, he doesn't.
I haven't read the book, nor she.
In an interview with Fox News ahead of her upcoming memoir, she revealed that Donald took her on an hour-and-a-half drive to view a property that he wanted to buy. Liz Truss met her husband, Hugh O'Leary, at the Tory party conference in 1997. What a year that was for them. What happened on their first date?
Did they go to a pork market?
According to the Express, she invited him ice skating.
Yeah.
All right.
But the date ended in despair when he sprained his ankle. Which important moment in Liz Truss's political career is being commemorated this week?
There weren't any.
There was a commemoration this week. Do you see this? A blue plaque appeared outside a Tesco in Walthamstow to mark the fact that the lettuce that outlasted her premiership, which was purchased there. Liz Truss's husband is an accountant, according to the BBC. His mathematical mind may well have been what attracted Miss Truss. Well, every household needs at least one. Henry VIII felt tricked by Holbein's painting of Anne of Cleves. It was the most misleading royal portrait in British history until Kate photoshopped an extra hand onto Prince George. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, The Thatcher's Standard, the magazine of the National Society of Master Thatchers. They're excited to be featured on the show because after this, they're hoping sales will go through the roof, which will then need rethatching. And we start with... Surprise after Gibbons spotted what?
Is it Dick Curdles?
Sorry?
I beg your pardon? Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about a bloke called Dick Curdle.
No!
Surprise after Gibbons spotted doing the robot dance.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to see said dancing Gibbon?
Yes, please.
Here it is. Sorry. Wrong clip. This is what we're looking for, this one here.
Hilarious. Doing the funky gibbon, isn't it?
Do you think maybe that's just an electric fence? Next, when a Thatcher says what, it's bound to get people talking.
Just a quick reminder, it's not waterproof.
Is it not?
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is.
But it would make you think, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no.
No.
No?
When a Thatcher says they're using pre-twisted imported spars over English straits, it is bound to get people talking. Next, make working from home more pleasurable by what?
Repeatedly telling people, oh, I'm not in the office today, I'm working from home.
No, we make working from home more pleasurable by using a lying down desk.
Oh.
Here is inventor Alex May under his desk.
It would be a good advert for a futon.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. What happened to futons? God, the past was great.
No, you can still get a futon.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Have you got one with you?
This one was provided by Lord Ali.
Next, strange sighting on church roof in Norwich turns out to be what?
Turns out to be perfectly normal.
No.
Is it the M9?
No.
On a clear day, you can see whatever that fucking road is. Reach Lowestoft from here. The A12.
A strange sighting on church roof in Norwich turns out to be suspicious bishop. So the bishop was on the roof inspecting solar panels as part of the Church of England's drive towards net zero, a target which it has almost achieved with its congregation. Finally, merchandise for upcoming Oasis tour to include what?
Matching oven gloves.
Something you do this with.
A whip.
Is it disciplining interns?
Was that an album track of theirs?
This is merchandise for upcoming Oasis tour to include...
Yeah.
Fly swatter.
That wasn't a fly swatter, what you were doing there.
Yes, it was. Have I got this wrong? A fly swatter is a kind of a vigorous...
You've not got it wrong, you're just too angry.
You've got to try and seduce them into a relaxed mood.
Have you tried low lighting?
So the final scores are Ian and Andrea have 3 points, Paul and Miles have 5 points.
Well done.
I don't know where that is. Congratulations. I wonder what that's for.
I appear to be on the losing team. Can't think
I'm
why.
always on it, so... I've rubbed off on you, haven't I?
Well, not yet.
Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Jeffrey, I don't want to embarrass you, but you've forgotten to put your socks on again.
I'm impressed that you managed to get your helmet over the handlebars.
On which lovely note we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Dame Andrea Jenkins, Paul Merton and Miles Jupp. And I leave you with news that Angela Rayner says there are no issues juggling her party lifestyle with the demands of government as she flies straight from a weekend in Ibiza to a military veterans event. At the City Hall in Pennsylvania, it's nearly time for a hot milky drink. And on a visit to a coffee shop, one man starts to understand how unpopular he's become as he notices the barista has spelt out "nobody likes you" on the top of his cappuccino. Good night.